Hi guys, how are you? I can't believe that I'm actually doing this, but I have been talking about making a YouTube channel and some videos for a long time. And a couple of weeks ago, I was watching some videos on YouTube, and one of the women that I came across had the sign on the front or the wording on the front of the video that said, if you see this, then it was meant for you, and click on it. And of course, I see those all the time, but this time it was different. I don't know what it was. And all of a sudden, the lady started talking about how the things that you are putting off and the things that you keep saying, I'll do this when. I'll do this when I have the money. I'll do this when I get the proper job. Um, I'll go on a vacation when I have enough money. Money, 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 money. Maybe those things that you really want to do are the things that you need to help you heal and to help you continue to heal. And I'll tell you a little bit about me and the journey that I've been on, but I have a very deep feeling, I don't know if that's the word, but a very deep feeling in my soul that maybe some of the things that I've gone through can help other people. And I was speaking with my son a couple of weeks ago, and he is really just an amazing person, and I'm so proud of him. And I trust him and I believe him. And he said to me, Mom, there are so many people who could benefit from what you've learned and the things that you've gone through that it would be a shame for you to not share those things. So, Frankie, this is for you. And it's also for me because I feel like I'm ready. I am a very emotional person, which I'm sure we'll find out at some point. And so trying to keep it together is something that I always try to do. But I've also realized that feeling those feelings and feeling those emotions and truly, truly connecting with people is what it's all about. And so here's a little bit of a backstory on me. I actually ran two very successful companies. I started out my career as a broker with Morgan Stanley, and then actually started our first company after that, myself and my husband. And we had tremendous success. We had two exits to public companies. And I thought that we were really on our way to building a beautiful life for ourselves. I became a millionaire at 26 years old, and we did a lot of traveling. We had beautiful cars, we had beautiful homes, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And my husband grew up in a trailer park, basically, in a place where he swore he would never let our children grow up, always wanted to be better. When we were in a position to do it, we moved his mother out of the trailer park. For me, I spent most of my life in sales. In these businesses, I worked in sales, mostly advertising, business development, in the technology industry, and then in the cigar industry and a couple of other industries. But my husband used to say that we were selling air. What does that mean? We were able to create more of what we were selling without bringing more value. Now, when you're greedy and you're trying to make money, then that's really all that matters, right? Just create as much air as you can. But pretty early on, I realized that it wasn't about the money. It was, and the things that you could buy for yourself. It was, how could you use that money and those resources to help other people? And it was really very early on that I knew that I needed to figure out a way to help other people. So whether it was helping a friend pay off a student loan, pay off a credit card, put a deposit on a house, pay for their kid to go to camp, it didn't really matter. I was there. And I loved it. I loved it. I would never change anything about that. I want to make that really clear. About 12 years ago, my husband decided that he wanted to write a movie. And we had booked a family summer vacation for 30 days. And so he decided that he was going to take this 30 days and he was going to write a movie. Before we left on the cruise, he had done a bunch of research, and Adderall kept coming up as a great way to focus, especially for someone who was probably ADHD but undiagnosed. And so he went to the doctor prescribed Adderall for him. We went on this cruise, and he actually really did spend those 30 days working on a script almost to completion. So when we got back home, he completed it. But what also happened was an addiction to Adderall. An addiction to how it made him feel, to how creative it allowed him to be, until one day the come down from the Adderall really messed him up. And then he started to look for things that would keep him up instead of down. All of a sudden, everything started to hurt him. His back hurt, his neck hurt, everything hurt. And the doctor kept giving him more medicine, more medicine. Almost 11 years ago, the addiction had gotten really bad. And I sat down with him and I told him that he had to go to rehab. And in typical fashion, he told me that he would consider it and that I needed to go do all of the research and then come to him and let him know what I found out. So the next morning I woke up. I called our doctor. He made some calls, I made some calls, and we figured out a place for him to go. He wasn't answering the phone when I called him, so I drove home to tell him what I found out and to have a conversation so that we can schedule him to go. This was on a Saturday, and he was going to leave on Monday morning. When I got home, he was dead. And my whole life changed. I had two 13-year-old kids. and their whole life changed. It's been almost 11 years, and I'm still dealing with life after. I have become a lot stronger, and my relationship with my babies is amazing. But the journey here and the journey that we're still on is one that I think might help someone else. It's a journey from being all the way up to as down as you can be. It's a journey about knowing who really loves you and who really supports you and believes in you, and who doesn't. And it's about learning how strong we really are. One of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite people, Maya Angelou, is, "When healing begins, go out and heal someone else." I've learned a lot over the last 11 years. I don't have the same anger in my heart that I used to have. The anger that was, just leave me and leave the kids. And leave us in a really bad position, by the way, when things got real tough. Instead, I've chosen to focus the last several years on his mental health. And at the time that he was sick, mental health really wasn't discussed. It wasn't like it is today. And I never really understood that he was depressed. I never really understood the childhood trauma that he had and how that affected every single day of his life. And so I have chosen to not be angry. I've chosen to heal and to work on healing every single day. I've chosen to focus on the mental health of my children so that they're strong and confident, and they know that they could talk to me. They could always talk to me. So that they don't deal with the same kinds of thoughts, the same kinds of depression that their father dealt with. It's almost 11 years later. My life, my children's lives have been like a roller coaster. We went from having everything, which some people would say everything, and when I say that, I mean money, to me having to ride my bicycle to the store and put together pennies to go buy a rotisserie chicken so that we can all share it for dinner. But that being said, we have built a beautiful life and have beautiful relationships, deep, real relationships with each other and with the people in our lives. We've had to let go of some relationships that we really, truly believed were love. We were disappointed a lot in friends, sadly enough, in family, in business colleagues. I lost a lot of the confidence in myself that I always had. And every day is still a struggle. But every day I choose to make myself a better person, to be the change that I want to see, to help other people. I kind of feel like this is probably a good starting point for my first video. There's a lot that fills in the blanks of the last 11 years. The good, the bad, the ugly, the really, really, really ugly. But there's also really good. And I raised some amazing kids, humans, people who love so deep. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud of who they have become. Because it could have been so much worse. And I'm so grateful for the love that I do have and those people in my life who bring me so much joy and so much love. And I truly hope that one day I'm going to be able to give that love back in ways that are unimaginable. In deep, real ways. And I want to be able to share with you the ideas that I have and the things that I've learned and the videos that I've watched and the podcasts that I've listened to and the books that I've read and the music that fills my soul. Because I know that there are other people out there who have gone through what I've gone through. Our stories, I'm sure, are different. And no matter how you lose your spouse, you lose your spouse. And all of the losses teach you something. They teach you to be empathetic. They teach you love. They teach you grief. They teach you to work hard every day to be the kind of person that you want to be, the kind of parent that you want to be, the kind of child that you want to be, the kind of partner that you want to be. And if it means that we have to go through grief and loss and struggle and heartbreak, but we get to use those experiences to shape us and to help other people who are going through the same thing, who've gone through the same thing, then isn't it our job, our responsibility to make sure that we can help? I know that I got emotional and I wasn't really sure how this was going to go, but I feel like this is a good place to end the first video. There's so much that I want to explore on this channel. I want to talk about the healing and what went into the healing and what goes into the healing every day. I want to talk about the spiritual and what that really means and what it means to me and what I think it could mean to other people, how we can love each other and help each other grow. I also love to cook and bake and garden, and I would love to incorporate that in here somehow. But opening up to you today, opened up my heart. It's really something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I was scared. And it's over. But I feel better. I feel lighter. And I hope that if any of what I said connected to you at all, that you feel better and you feel lighter. I'm going to make a promise to put out one video at least every couple of weeks, but I really am going to try to do it more often than that. Feel free to private message me, and I'll also put my contact information down below the video. Feel free to message me, even if you just want to talk. Maybe you understand something that I spoke about and it hit a chord with you. And thank you for allowing this platform for me to get off of my chest and out the things that I've been thinking about for so long that I very, very rarely speak about. I hope to connect with you soon. And I hope that you have a beautiful day.